Hi, I'm Sallitine, and my immune system seems to be like absolutely dying right now. And it's almost been like a whole week, like since I've been feeling like this, and yet I still won't go to the doctor because I don't care enough. I'll suffer before I go to the doctor, I guess. So, anyways, what I've done is make a little document, cause not a spreadsheet, because I'm not smart enough, about every tribe with like good characters and then their optimal teams, total HP, and then like what sort of Unity stuff they have, the watch they have, all that. Just because I want to make a whole argument on why I like Mysterious so much, even though yeah. So let's go over every single like rule I did. UZ ranks get like 300 to each stat for LB, like 30, like 300 total. So that's how I get here. And plus I have this spreadsheet by Sallitine again. Gives you the max HP they could get from missions, which is like all I consider. I don't consider like, maybe yours is LB0 for this guy, but then all the way down here, maybe you pulled Chifu 3 extra times when you were trying to get Mikey and he's LB10. I'm not considering that. I'm just considering this from the most LBs you could get from their original event. Like, for example, my Megumin is LB10, yet I considered LB3 for Megumin. Again, sorry I sound like this. There's really nothing I can do about it. So in blue, I've highlighted the characters that I've used to calculate the base HP and then total HP. So, and then I've also listed them in the order that I have them on the tribe tier list. First up, we got Brave with a base HP of 7,043. They have a 20% watch and then 60% unity bonus from NOA, Yami Kenma, and Demon God Nate. And then they get a total of 14,790. Now I've rounded down for all of these, so like some of these is like maybe this is 752, but I just rounded down because it seems more likely. And also for some reason, whenever you like enter a stage, your HP is a little bit higher than this. Like for example, Brave would have like exact like close to 15,000. When you like actually enter a stage, it's weird. Next up, we have Heartful with Santa Natsuomi for a unity, or Hime Natsuomi for a unity, and Noelle for a unity to get the same thing as Brave, except they only have a 15% watch, yet their HP is almost the same. I guess having 3 UZ characters. Well, no, they have 3 UZ characters. I don't know. I guess they just happen to roll the dice on Orihime Natsuomi and Baby U compared to Megumin and Yami Kenma. Then we have Charming. I use the Witch Kappa-chan version instead of the Cyber Fubuki version. So they would have more HP with Cyber Fubuki and a revive. However, they don't have to take a normal with Halloween Kappa-chan. So they just straight up have this much HP to work with, similar to Heartful. Also, I got in an argument with somebody on Discord about how Heartful is better than Charming, and they were trying to say Charming is better because I really don't know. Like, you can look at this, and you can tell Heartful has more HP. Heartful, like, I presume would hit harder because they have 1 UZ, 2 UZ, 3 UZs. And it's Heartful has 1 UZ, 2 UZ, 3 UZ. However, Noelle, with her 3rd Unity bonus for 16%, just straight up makes them hit harder. So that's really about it. And then we have Mysterious with Aqua with 1,760 HP for LB10. Arlay is LB0 and can only get 1,220. Kirachara, LB10 well double Z, has 1,261, higher than Arlay surprisingly. Then we have Triple Z Ichika instead of UZ because you should have made Itsuki the UZ. Let me take a sip of water so I don't die. Am I allowed to say it on YouTube? Probably not. And then we have Adolescence Rine, who, funny enough, has the same amount of HP as Ichika. Now, I didn't factor in Blue Sky Helmet Suzaku, who would have lower HP, but also has guard and the ability to crit, so their damage output could be, like, way higher. I just wanted to focus on, like, the normal team. Because even without Blue Sky Helmet Suzaku, they still are, like, genuinely insane for, like, how much you would not think that with their base HP of 7,025. Oh, yeah, here's the base HPs for the other two. I'm just not really going to focus on this. Basically, to find the total HP, take the base HP, And you take the flatline 30% unity for having 5 characters of the same tribe, any sort of extra unity bonus from skills, and then the watch bonus. So they have 105% unity, 196 plus 105% is, 14,751.8. So yeah, it would be 52 if they round up. So that's how you get this base HP and this total HP. So yeah. Then we have Eerie, who is now taken number 1 as the most HP we have so far, with only a 15% watch and only 44% unity from Arachnus and Taicho Ray. So they have the highest base HP here, and they might have the highest base HP. Yeah, they have the highest base HP out of like every tribe, which is pretty funny. And then their HP is also really high. So this is why I said you can argue Eerie above Mysterious if you want, because like, good lord. And considering that it goes up a little bit when you're actually in a stage, they have over 15,000 HP. I was in a Discord server, and I said, yeah, like 14,000 HP, that's like the average. Yeah. And they were like, what? There's no way that's the average. You know, yeah, it is the average. Next up, we got the Enma tribe with New Year's Kyra at LB0 as a unity bonus and Fast Fever. And then God of Armor Fudoma only at LB2, weirdly enough. Also a unity bonus, and has 1290 HP. Then you have Festival Boso Enma, the 10-second stunner, Soultimate filler, 1467 HP. You got EX Popper Jane. They just spit into a cup and it looked disgusting. I should definitely like go like tell my parents, they're like, hey, I'm sick. I need you to take me to the doctor, because I've never been by myself yet. Woohoo! 1576 HP, and then Oni King Enma with 1583. I'll split Fudo Boy Gold here just because, you know, he's crit. So yeah, you use either of these two. So their HP can go up a little bit. So they have like 7,151 base. They also have a 20% watch, so they have 90% to the unity bonus. Now we get this. It doesn't look like too impressive until you realize they get into fever time without taking damage, and then they have a revive on top of it. So if counters are doing like 2100 damage, let's just do some math real quick on the, by math I mean let's do it, let the calculator do some work. Divided by 20, let's just do 2200. They can take 6 attacks before they trigger the revive. So they can do 7 Soultimates and then a finisher Soultimate. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that's why I have them above Tough. Tough has the highest unity bonus, just out of all of them. Their total was like 109%, I think, but they only have a 15% watch. You got Future Ren for 24, Triple OPC for 20, and then Public Genshin for 20. Yeah, 64. Future Ren, 1,578 HP. Tamonten Ren literally just one less with 1577. Triple OPC, even though he's limit break 7, he can only get 1404, which, like, honestly, that seems about average. Public Genshin, 1410, and then Summer Corone, 1415. If you want to revive, you can use Chojin Genshin, because he has revive and guard, but then you're not chainable. And if you want to replace Tamonten Ren with, like, regular Genshin, because then you might be able to get into fever time without taking damage, then you can. But I used, like, normal team, normal consistency, and they get the whopping 15,432 HP. That's pretty insane. However, considering they have to get hit with a normal, and then they don't have a revive, yeah, that's why they're second worst viable tribe. Then we have Slippery as the worst viable tribe. Now for Slippery and Shady, I did 2 calculations. I did one with Musical Venoct instead of Low Tier Shu, because honestly, he's kind of like been getting kicked off the team, weirdly enough. Even though he's like an amazing character, the fact that Santa Yu just has more HP and Kagure Zelchton just hits harder than him, like, it's kind of pushing him off the team, which is pretty funny. You can just use Musical Venoct, and like, yeah, sure, you have a lot less HP, but now you have a guard and revive character. And then, funny enough, if we go all the way up to Mysterious, it just took me right back down. They have pretty similar HP, except they don't have Aqua. And then Mysterious, I'm hiding off on some little details about Mysterious that I'll tell you later. So yeah, their normal HP is pretty decent, and their revive HP is also, like, apparently not bad. Then we got Shady. Oh boy, Shady. So I didn't highlight any of them because I didn't think it was necessary. But like, if you want to, just for consistency's sake. Boso Hinozal at LB10, I'm pretty sure you could get 1,465 HP. Mine is not LB10, so I can't check. Same with my Galapion. I assume that, like, I did some, like, little tests. My Subaru has, like, 2 LBs, and then she had, like, 40 more HP than usual, so I'm just guessing they get 20 per stat per LB. So Galapion would get 1,240. Also, for like triple Z's and UZ's, I can just go up here, but there's no like ZZ ranked version, which like understandable. Then we have Punigami, the UZ pre-filled limit break 10 EX popper, with a whopping 1808 HP, and then Young Dame Dead Time at 1780. Yet their base HP is still not the highest because Erie was the highest with almost 8,000. And then I have Eddie, who I'm 99% certain you could not get LBs. Maybe you could get like 1 LB, in which case their HP would be a little bit higher, but it doesn't matter. Increasing this number by like 30 to 60 is not going to do anything, usually. But then I also have the Fast Fever Mars Edzoff. His name is like Saguya? If I just look up Mars, I'll find him, instead of trying to figure out what his Japanese translation name is. Mars Izanami, so there he is. Yagyo Mars. All he's good for is Fast Fever. Triple Z Fast Fever. The first one that's not a double Z, as you see in the overview here. But wow, would you look at that? His kit screams only of one purpose. Yep. You're giving up a Unity bonus plus guard character for a Fast Fever. Their stats go down with an LB7 triple Z rank compared to an LB0 double Z rank. That's how good Unity bonus is. But their base HP goes up. That's like, you can tell Unity bonus is an insane factor. Also, we have collab information. I made a community post about it, but it's that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Never seen it, but like, apparently it's good, so I don't know, maybe check it out. Also, Slippery is probably going to get like changed, but this is during the Dragon Slayers 2 event, number 57. During this one, during the month of July. It's still July for me, for everybody right now. I'm posting this on the Monday in my time zone, so Shady, despite having like without the Fast Fever, their HP is like pretty average, pretty run of the mill. Until you realize that they really can't like get into fever time without taking at least 2 normals, which means they'll have like 10,481 HP, not considering any sort of guards Eddie can do, and the fact that Galapion has Revive. But oh no, we're not done yet, because if you notice, Boso Hinozal is the only triple Z Fast Fever extender on the entire like setup. Erie recently replaced Saku-chan with Jenga, which despite how much I hate it, it is a big difference. We're gonna highball it. When I did my testing for like UZs versus triple Zs, I have LB10 triple Z Itsuki at G5 with a UZ Unity bonus, triple Z and double Z Unity bonus, hitting for around 200k. And I just tested it again, and she hit around that. I'm fairly certain. Let me just double check and make sure it's still the same. Actually, I just realized it doesn't matter if I test it, because Hinozal doesn't have access to that. He instead has a double Z rank instead of a UZ rank Unity bonus, and I just tested that. No, I didn't. I did not test that. We're going to assume that he hits around 200,000 damage, even though he's not going to. Also, this is assuming you have a combo of 120, which like you get after an EX popper, which is why the numbers are so high when I talk about it. I always assume you're just after an EX popper. If we remove Eddie for the Fast Fever, then like Hinozal only has 13 more attack stat than Triple Z Itsuki, so the damage is really not going to be that big of a difference. But when I tested it with a high combo after an EX popper, and then used Triple Z Itsuki, Hinozal equivalently would have only done 186,000 damage. Keep in mind, UZ ranks like Itsuki, if you're running the optimal team, like Itsuki and Santanatsuyomi, and then I'm gonna guess Future Ren as well, hit for at least 220,000 damage. Meanwhile, the other ones are probably hitting around 210,000, maybe 205,000. So Hinozal doing 186k if you let him have a fast fever, that's not a good look, considering that their other highest hitting character would be Dame Dead Time, who, with Eddie, was hitting 200,000 damage. That's not good, and it really makes up for the fact that they don't have, like their HP is average, yet their damage is sub-average. And also, Punigami being LB10 is really not going to make that big a difference. It's going to get, like, maybe, like, 20k extra damage highballing. That's not going to save the extra 20k damage Hinozal is straight up missing. So you either have more HP and damage, but no fast fever, or you have fast fever and less HP and more damage. Except with more HP, you actually efficiently just have less damage because you're taking more damage when you get into normals, again, not considering Eddie guarding. Which he could guard, and then if you get, like, the perfect, like, only 2 hits for, before you get into fever time, and then you get a couple of guards, I'm fairly certain, like, Shady could win. However, that's a lot of ifs. And then with every other tribe here, I know if they get hit once and then get into fever time, as long as you get all of the Soultimates you need to, they'll win. And then, like, Enma, Charming if you use Kappa, and then Heartful, they can just get into fever time without taking damage. And then you're just going to have to make sure you, like, get all of your damage, which it's not that hard, especially for Heartful, because all the Puni are going to fall larger than usual after your EX popper. She has fever fill, she has pre-fill, and then you're just going to make sure you need to get her, because then you can get 2 more of her, and then, like, the boss might straight up just be dead, but then you have the rest of fever time to get at least 1 more Soultimate. So now I want to talk about Mysterious. Mysterious, if you were unaware of what Aqua can do, Mysterious looks like they're pretty bad, and should be the worst tribe, like, here, because with a fast fever, they're way here, and yet they have the same amount of unity bonuses as Fast Fever Shady, yet I have them ranked so much higher. Why is that? Well, that's because Aqua is just, like, genuinely insane. What is Aqua? She is a Limit Break Tenable Fever Extender with Fast Fever and then the Fever Power skill. What does Fever Power do? I'm glad you asked. First thing it does, when you enter Fever Time, you get healed for 700 HP, meaning that while everybody else can take, like, 1800 for a normal before they get into Fever Time if they don't guard it, Mysterious can just take, like, only 1100 effectively, because they'll just heal 700 HP right back. So their HP is effectively a lot higher. That's not even considering that you can just do, like, double fevers before you get started and then heal for 1400 HP, meaning they will only get hit for 400 damage on a 1800 damage normal. So already they're pretty good. Then they have a guard character, but we're not going to talk about that right now, I guess. The next thing Aqua's Fever Power skill does is increases her damage by, like, a lot. Now, I just tested it with I'm pretty sure I don't know what G my Aqua is. I need to check that real quick. I'm thinking she's G5, I think. Maybe she's probably G5. I'd be very surprised if she wasn't G5, because that would just make her even more broken with what I'm about to say. No, she is G5. So, you remember when I said that other, like, UZ Fever Extenders would be doing around 210 to 205 if it's not Brave or Heartful? Yeah, Aqua kind of breaks that rule, because, like, she did 222,000 damage on her Fever Extend. Let me remind you, she has Fast Fever, and she's healing you every time you enter Fever Time. And she's doing more damage than the other, like, super buffed up Fever Extenders. And, like, that extra damage she doesn't get negated during Thrones. So she's just doing 220,000 damage every time with only 2 unity bonuses. And if you want to, you can put regular Yusin on here instead of Rene, and they have more stats. Aqua does more damage. Oh boy. And then the final thing, Aqua makes it so that way, if you pop a size 6 or 7 Puni of her, she just has her G Soultimate. Like, she makes it so much easier to get her Soultimate up. And considering she's doing 220,000 damage per hit, oh my god, you do 5 of her Soultimates, she's hitting for like 1.1 million. And then you got your EX popper, doing around 100,000 damage probably, maybe like 80,000. And then you just get like a finisher Soultimate. You have a revive with Renee, by the way. And then you could use a Renee Soultimate to finish. Yeah, that's why I say that they're so good, despite having the lowest HP here. Because Aqua hits harder than everybody else, heals you. Arle's broken, just because she can just help you get more Aqua Soultimates, and then like other Soultimates for everybody else. Kirachara can also heal you, which might let you get one extra Soultimate if your HP lines up. Like, if the boss does 2,000 damage on a counter, but you have like 1,900 HP, you can use Kirachara's Soultimate. The heal will go through before the counter, so then you'll have like 41 HP. Then you can use another Soultimate, and then your revive will proc. Whereas if you were to use Aqua instead, yes, you do more damage, but then your revive would immediately proc. And then the 2 Soultimates you get with Kirachara would probably outdamage one Aqua Soultimate. Like, you do Kirachara and then Aqua, and then you get like you basically just like slide his Soultimate in for free. It's a neat tactic you can do. You can also do it with Eddie, which, like, I guess that's cool. You can also do it with no one. That's it. That's it. That's just it. No one else has an all pop heal Soultimate. So yeah, Mysterious hitting for like a nuclear bomb, and then Shady having more stats but hitting for a wet noodle compared to everybody else. With, again, if you're running Fast Fever, Hinozal is not even hitting 200,000 damage, and then with a Unity bonus, he still might not be hitting 200,000 damage, but he'll be a lot closer. Meanwhile, everybody else is hitting for well above 200,000 damage. So it doesn't matter that Shady now has a Fast Fever, because it's time to replace Hinozal as the Fever Extender. He'll still be on the team because he has a 20% Unity bonus, but oh boy, is it going to be really tedious to deal with him because he has Drop Big. So you're going to be trying to get in a Fever time, and your whole board's just going to be a bunch of Hinozals. That's going to really suck. So, like, Shady is just in, like, a terrible spot right now. Meanwhile, every other tribe is honestly in a really great spot. Like, you can run Yun instead of Earthwalker NOA for, like, a tribe disadvantage throne, and they still win. Like, Brave is just that good. Heartful, there was a video of Ryu Cat trying to beat the Dame Dead Time, like, the Young Dead Time throne stage, and he ended up losing. But that's because, like, Santa Natsuomi is G3, Noelle of all characters was G5, but then everybody else was G1. So if he had just leveled up the G Soultimates, he would have won. And it's even sadder to think about because, you know, Heartful has tribe advantage over Shady, so they just do more damage than they normally do. So it's pretty sad. But, like, that's honestly just a skill issue. Like, I'm not really considering, like, how much damage they would do, like, with G5. Like, I know Fever Extenders, like, for, like, Santa Natsuomi, she'd do 220k with G5. I'm considering, like, that, like, only, like, for Fever Extenders. I don't know how much damage a G5 EX Popper does, or a G5 Inflate 4. I'm not really, like, focusing on that. Heartful is better than Charming, and Mysterious is way better than Shady. So, this is kind of just, like, a fun video. Now that you know, like, how much HP every team has, you'll be like, alright, yeah, that's pretty cool. And you'll know what I'm talking about when I say Tough has a lot of stats, except not really. Tough's greatest strength is having a lot of stats, and even then, it's only like 600 more than the second place. So, next video probably is going to be damage calculations, because I'm going to show you why my characters are doing like 200,000 damage per Soultimate, and your characters might be doing only like 80k. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed me being sick and like having a stroke or something. Yeah, I'll be back Wednesday for damage calculations, I guess. And I'm still gonna sound sick because I'm recording this in the same day.